One after the other, this arc keeps delivering. The 11th episode of this season and the 3rd of this arc, Shattered, featured the end of the Republic occupation of Mandalore and the execution of Order 66. This episode is incredibly tense and shocking every step of the way, and I am incredibly excited for the end of the series, and I can't seem to possibly imagine how the finale will ever close the series in this arc in a dissatisfying way. By the way things are looking, with this arc, I don't know how it could possibly disappoint me with the finale, even if it is incredibly terrible. The 3 episodes leading up to it are so incredibly great that I think it'll get a pass. Alright, time to get into the breakdown of this episode, and then after that we'll do a review of my thoughts, so let's begin. As with the other 2 episodes of this arc, Shattered opened with a classic Lucasfilm logo and a red Clone Wars logo. And once again, without the announcer, we start with the Republic gunships that finished off the last episode, coming into frame, touching down on a city platform on Mandalore. Bo-Katan comes out to give Ahsoka the lightsabers that she dropped while dueling Maul as she gets off the gunship. Ahsoka tells Bo-Katan that she should be the one to lead Mandalore, but Bo-Katan still refuses, and as they speak, Rex comes up to them and tells Ahsoka that the council is waiting for her report. Ahsoka asks if Master Skywalker was in the council meeting. Rex says that he was there before he left. Then in the Republic Communications Center, we see the council on hologram, including Mace Windu, Grandmaster Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Aayla Secura. Master Windu tells them that he senses a plot to destroy the Jedi, and is concerned with the Chancellor. The council then decides that once General Grievous is destroyed, that if the Chancellor does not give up his emergency powers, the Jedi Order will have to take control of the Senate to secure a peaceful transition. Then Ahsoka and Rex walk into the meeting room. Mace Windu asks if Ahsoka's mission was a success, and she tells them that she does have Maul in custody. She also tells them that she did her duty to capture Maul as a citizen, and not as a Jedi. She realizes Anakin is not in the meeting, and Mace Windu tells her that he sent Skywalker to inform the Chancellor that General Grievous was indeed located on Utapau. Then she asks where Obi-Wan was, and Yoda tells her that he has engaged General Grievous. Ahsoka says the war may soon be ending, but Mace Windu tells her it really depends on what the Chancellor decides. Ahsoka, confused by this, asks what this means. Mace tells her that these matters are for the Council to discuss, and a citizen should not know of them. The Council then logs off the call, but Yoda remains and asks Ahsoka if she has a message for Anakin. Ahsoka tells him that she'll tell Anakin herself, and Yoda leaves the hologram. After the transmission is ended, Rex questions Ahsoka on how she forgot to tell the Council of what Maul said about Skywalker. All Ahsoka says is that she didn't forget. The next scene is of Maul being transferred out of Mandalore and onto a Republic transport. There's very little dialogue, and the eerie music almost tells the scene. We then can see Maul stuck inside of some kind of chamber that was used during the Jedi-Mandalorian Wars, where the Mandalorians built these chambers to restrain Force users. Bo-Katan thanks Ahsoka for her help in taking back Mandalore, and then they say goodbye with more eerie music. The Republic transport leaves the atmosphere and touches down on the ship bay of the Venator. Maul, still in his chambers, is taken to a detention level and is locked inside of a cell. Next, Ahsoka and Rex walk onto the bridge just in time to look out the window to see the ship jump into hyperspace. Rex asks if Ahsoka is okay and if there's anything on her mind. She tells him that the Jedi were not trained to be soldiers, they're trained to be keepers of the peace, and everything that she's done ever since she was a Padawan was be a soldier. Rex tells her that he knows no other way, and that it gives the clones mixed feelings about the war. Many people wished it never happened, but without it, the clones wouldn't exist. Ahsoka tells him that the Republic couldn't have asked for better soldiers. They then salute each other, and a ship officer tells Rex that the latest briefing has come in. Rex asks Ahsoka if she wants to have a look, and it might be an update on General Kenobi's efforts. Ahsoka tells him that it's fine, and that it will probably just be more good news. As Rex leaves the front deck of the Venator to go into the hologram room, Ahsoka watches out into hyperspace, and Maul, still in his chamber inside of a cell, feels the disturbance in the Force. Ahsoka feels it too. She feels the fight between Mace Windu and the Chancellor. She feels Anakin's turn to the dark side, and when he cuts off Mace Windu's hand, and Palpatine unleashing his power, sending Mace Windu flying out of a window. In the hologram room, we see the briefing that Rex is given. Darth Sidious's face comes over the hologram and tells him to execute Order 66. Rex responds, "Yes, Lord Sidious." Ahsoka runs to tell Rex that she has felt something terrible has happened to Anakin. Rex shakily drops his helmet, and behind Ahsoka, 2 clones also get the order and aim their guns at Ahsoka's back. But Rex says that he'll do it. He tells her to stay back, as a tear rolls down his face with his gun shaking. She tells Ahsoka to find him, to find Fives. He then opens fire and Ahsoka dodges it and rushes Rex, making him bang his head over the holo projector. The other clones then open fire on Ahsoka, and she blocks their blaster shots. More and more clones surround Ahsoka, shooting their blasters at her. During the fight, she swiftly cuts through the roof of the room, sneaking into another part of the ship. Rex then tells 3 clones to go to the detention level and execute Maul. He then briefs the other clones that due to Executive Order 66, Ahsoka Tano has now been marked for termination because of treason against the Republic. He tells them to gather search parties and fan out and search each section by section. 2 clones walk into Maul's detention block. They unlock the chamber that he's inside of and point their guns to him, but Ahsoka comes behind them, knocking them incapacitated. Then she tells Maul that she better not regret this, and she unlocks him from his chamber. Maul says that he is surprised that she was able to survive, and then she asked him if this was his doing, to which he replied that this wasn't his doing. He has felt the voices crying out and the death. She tells him that the clones turned against her, even Rex, and that she didn't know why. They just suddenly weren't themselves. But now Maul was able to see his master's plan, that he had turned the Jedi's own army against them, and that she did the right thing by coming to him. Only together could they survive. She tells Maul that she doesn't want to team up with him, and that she only needs him as a diversion. She tells him to go cause chaos, because that's what he's good at, and the two split up. We then see clones running through the hallways, looking for Ahsoka. 3 clones report to Captain Rex that they checked the detention level and that Ahsoka had freed Maul. Rex tells them to destroy the escape pods and increase security on the hangar decks. We then get a shot of Ahsoka sneaking around searching clones. She then wanders into a droid room where she sees her old droid that she used to have, R7. He then awakens the rest of the droids in the room, and they all agree to help Ahsoka in her efforts. She tells R7 to bring up the file on CT-5555. After her research, she is able to learn that the inhibitor chips were put inside the clones on purpose. In the next scene, we see a party of clones trying to combat Maul in a hallway. Maul uses pieces of metal from the hallway's walls to block blaster bolts as he uses the Force on the clones. The clones then seal the blast door to cover their escape. The droids that befriended Ahsoka rummage through the hallways until they find Captain Rex. They lock the blast doors around him, and R7 plays a holo projection of Ahsoka, telling him that she saw the report on Fives, and that isn't his fault that he was programmed to do this, and his mind was altered when he was very young. Rex pulls out a gun at R7 and asks where Ahsoka was. She then says, "I'm right behind you," and Rex is startled and turns around as R7 stuns him. Their plan is to take Rex to the medical bay, but the clones on their ship know that they have captured Rex, and they have to blow down the blast doors. R7 does a scan of Rex in the medical bay, trying to find the inhibitor chip inside of him, but the chip doesn't appear on the scanners, and the clones are closer to opening the blast door. Ahsoka tells one of the droids that they must be prepared to reseal the door. Ahsoka uses the Force to connect with the Rex, and they are able to locate the inhibitor chip. When they begin the operation to remove the chip from Rex's head, the clones are able to break through the blast door, and Ahsoka ignites her lightsaber and uses the Force to push the clones through the doorway. She is nearly overrun before Rex comes to and shoots the clones trying to get in. Ahsoka asks Rex if he's okay, and he says that he is, and he apologizes for what happened before, that he had almost killed her, and she asks him how widespread this is, and he tells her that it's the entire Grand Army of the Republic that has been ordered to hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. Though the blast door was resealed, the clones are still coming through, and the credits ensue. This episode left me with my hands on my head in shock for almost the entirety of it. I thought the lead up to Order 66 was spectacular because it genuinely gave me a sense of uneasiness. I remember thinking that the eerie music was meant to make me feel unsettled, and I told myself that's not going to happen. And then about 30 seconds later, I said to myself, the eerie music is starting to work. The scenes before Order 66 is executed, you can feel like it could happen at any moment. Any second, a clone could pull out a hologram of Darth Sidious. But once the one Navy officer tells Rex that there's been a briefing, I knew that was going to be Order 66. Another thing is the parallels with Revenge of the Sith. I find it very interesting how we know right from Revenge of the Sith when Yoda says, "Great care we must take." After that cut, Ahsoka walks into the meeting. This episode definitely solidifies this arc as my favorite in the series, and like I said in the beginning, I think even if the finale sucks really hard, that it will still be my favorite arc just because of what the last 3 episodes have given us. And I don't think the final episode will be terrible. It'll probably have more of a sense like the Rebels finale, but I'm still incredibly excited to see how it ends. I love the version of the Order 66 theme that played in the episode, and how the voices in Ahsoka's vision were straight from Revenge of the Sith, so you could actually hear Hayden Christensen and Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, so I think that's all I want to say right now, but I apologize for calling Commander Rex Captain Rex during the breakdown for probably the last 2 reviews. It's just a simple mistake since I've remembered it as one way for such a long time and it's so similar. And the finale is coming out on May 4th, so on this Monday. And this video will probably be going up early Saturday, so there will be no lore video on Monday. It'll just be a Clone Wars review and 2 more lore videos during the week. And I'm sorry with what happened in the mall video. I was having some technical difficulties, and even after Shattered came out, I was having some problems. It was about 30 minutes long, so I would really appreciate it if you guys could go check that out. And we will probably go back next week to do 2 videos a week, and I'm thinking of making a discussion video of Battlefront, and that'll probably come out next Saturday. And so this is the end of the review breakdown of Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 11, Shattered. And I know the review part was kind of short again, but if you have any opportunity to watch this arc, and even if you're the tiniest bit of Star Wars fan, then you should take the opportunity. If I were to make a ranking of the Star Wars films, I'd probably put The Siege of Mandalore on there as its own movie. And I don't exactly know where I'd put it right now off the top of my head, but I definitely would have it up there with the other 12 films. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, please go check out some of my other ones. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I'll see you in my next one. But until then, may the Force be with you.